So, welcome back to the Arsenal podcast with me, Kosi, and of course, we are going to be looking at Houssem Aouar. Everything you need to know about this move. Why isn't it happening? If it's happened, why is it happening? Of course, don't forget to subscribe, and thank you so much for everybody who has subscribed until the channel just got to a 2-digit K. Finally, I'll start with two important news stories. One, two players of Manchester City have been found positive with the COVID-19 virus, starting with Riyad Mahrez. So they'll be put away in quarantine for 14 days. According to Charles Watts, the players didn't have symptoms. That is what, this is really worrying, with only 4 or 5 days to the start of the EPL, and then players are catching corona. So I really don't know what's gonna happen with the Arsenal players, but of course the checkings are still going on. So let us wait for the news from the FA. Callum Wilson has also signed for Newcastle, £20 million from Bournemouth. You know that man, he's quite dangerous and deadly. So you'll be meeting him next season with Newcastle. Let us get started with Houssem Aouar, the full story, all you need to know about the move. Why is it happening? I'm not talking about Houssem Aouar's skills, I'm talking about the move. Of course, we picked interest in Houssem Aouar this year. Of course, after seeing him in the Champions League with Lyon, going up to the semi-finals, Arsenal became lovers of the player and so on. We picked interest and we decided to pursue the signing. According to Fabrizio Romano, Edu and Arteta are very much admirers of the player. He said it clearly that Edu, Arteta and the board are absolutely in love with Houssem Aouar. However, he made it clear that the problem would be with the 60 or 70 million euros that Lyon would be demanding. Not far from that, Lyon came out and made a very, very big announcement through their president after the end of the Champions League run this season, and they made it clear that anyone who wants to take Houssem Aouar, Moussa Dembele and Memphis Depay, all these players are available, but all of them will not be sold at once. Houssem Aouar's price was set at 60 million euros, which Arsenal hasn't met yet, even until now, with only 20 days left on the transfer window. Arsenal came in with a first informal bid from Edu, which was on phone, reported by Football London. We came in with a first informal bid, which had Matteo Guendouzi and £16 million. It was bounced there and then, and so we had to prepare ourselves and go in with a second formal bid, which was also bounced. Now, the second formal bid was bounced, which was £31 million with Matteo Guendouzi as well, which some media say that the player who was taken as along with the cargo was unnamed. But of course, as the leaked sources name him as Matteo Guendouzi. We're still thinking about Arsenal chasing Aouar. You may think that that Arsenal do not have much competition. That is not true. On this deal, Juventus and Manchester City have been named potential competitors for Houssem Aouar. However, recently, Manchester City's Guardiola came out and said, no, we are not going to be pursuing the signature of Houssem Aouar. We are going to be leaving Houssem Aouar to all the clubs that want him, but for us, we are not going to sign the man himself, Houssem Aouar. That left Juventus and Arsenal as the only two teams that could actually have the chance to sign him, because they are the only two clubs that had shown the interest. Away from that, Houssem Aouar confirmed that he would want to play and make a move in the Premier League. He wouldn't want to go to Italy. That put Juventus out of the picture and left Arsenal as the only team that could actually sign Houssem Aouar in this transfer summer. Will Arsenal sign him? That is the only question now. Will Arsenal sign him? Now, according to the latest reports, we are, have it that Arsenal will have either to first sell off their deadwood, that is the many players in the defense and some players they are not going to use in the midfield, to use funds to sign Houssem Aouar, or we might actually have to go back in the next summer, and of course Houssem Aouar will be very, very expensive. So that is what you need to know about Houssem Aouar until now. We are still waiting for the price of the player to drop. Lyon have confirmed the player is up for grabs. Arsenal have confirmed they have the interest and the player has no problems with moving to the Premier League. But the problem is Arsenal are not willing to meet the 60 million valuation. Question number one. Is Houssem Aouar worth 60 million euros? The truth is yes. A 22-year-old, highly rated midfielder, playmaker. Every club would want to sign him. In this COVID-19, clubs are just trying to, fighting to get his signature, but the problem is the price. He's worth the money. Just look at last season. He had very good statistics, a very decent season. One of those players that I look at and I'm like, if he joined Arsenal, and every Arsenal fan knows that if he joined Arsenal, he would be a super addition to the club. So the truth is he's worth the 60 million euros. Do Arsenal need him? Exactly. Now, Arsenal in the past 3-4 years, we have been looking for another Santi Cazorla, another Cesc Fabregas, and we have found none. Or another Sami Nasri, and we have found none. Now, Mikel Arteta coming to Arsenal, he has really improved the philosophy at the club. When we missed people like Santi Cazorla, Cesc Fabregas, and Sami Nasri. If you look at Santi Cazorla, Houssem Aouar would be another perfect replacement of such a player. If you look at Cesc Fabregas or Sami Nasri, if we get Houssem Aouar, we have one of those. And that's why we need him. We need a midfielder who can score more goals from the midfield, who can create more chances for Aubameyang and help Lacazette, Pepe, and Willian with the creation of chances on the pitch. Are we going to get the Lyon playmaker? Now that question still remains with Arsenal and the board, whether we shall actually meet the 60 million valuation. Stan Kroenke, like I already say, he gave us a fake check when we are coming into the transfers, the transfer summer. He said he's gonna give us 100 million. He gave it to he gave almost 70 million to Unai Emery at Arsenal. He has not given even 50 million to Mikel Arteta. Probably Mikel Arteta will have to first sell off the deadwood if we are going to get Houssem Aouar. But of course we have to remember that we are operating within a very limited time span. The Premier League is coming back and the window closes exactly October 5th when we play Liverpool. In that week where we play Liverpool, that is when the transfer window will close. Let us look at the options we have other than Houssem Aouar. Now, some of the playmakers that Arsenal could actually be looking at, apart from Houssem Aouar, some of them have been offered to Arsenal. Others as cheap as less than 20 million, and others would be available on a free transfer. First and foremost is West Ham's Philip Anderson, who has been offered to Arsenal on a loan deal that is worth £5 million. That is really a bad price for such a player who has not had any decent statistics in the past 2 seasons at West Ham. I wouldn't go for him, and if I did go for him, his loan deal would actually only be a sharing of his salary and not paying anything like a loan fee. The second man is Philippe Coutinho. His decision at Barcelona lies in the hands of Ronald Koeman. Some people have it on some outlets have written that he's going to stay due to Ronald Koeman's interest in the Brazilian, and of course other people are saying that the Brazilian will leave the camp now because Messi is going to stay, and they want a complete squad overall. So we are still waiting for Barcelona to decide whether Philippe Coutinho is going to be available. We have had talks with his agent here. We have had talks with the players, with the player himself, and we have agreed personal terms before. All we have to do is now listen and wait to Barcelona. The other decent option would be Said Benrahma, Brentford playmaker. He had 41 goals last season in 131 appearances. If you look at Benrahma is one of those players that have really developed so much at Brentford in the Championship, and he would be a nice addition. 20 million euros, which could actually be less than that. I don't know what Arsenal is thinking about, but in my opinion, if Houssem Aouar fails, I would go for Said Benrahma. Cheap and he has the quality. He has been operating in England, and of course, why not? He's one player that is still very young and Algerian. So guys, that is the full story about Houssem Aouar. I want to know, what do you think about Houssem Aouar? Do you think Arsenal should continue pursuing the player, or should we go for the alternatives as time runs out? And of course, as we enter the new season, we want to get in two quality midfielders. We think of them as Partey and Aouar, but yesterday I said if we fail to get Partey, who should come in? You gave me your options. Now tell me today, should we continue going for Houssem Aouar, or should we actually switch the buttons and go for other alternatives? And do you think Arsenal really need Houssem Aouar? My name is Kosi, and thank you for joining me on the Arsenal podcast. Thank you for subscribing as well. 10,000 subscribers. We are running very fast to 11,000. Thank you so much. Goodbye. Kati mulina okuyomba ekiboga nayogera dda ne mbabuulira Grace.